Did you know there is a website where you can scientifically test which photos are best for your dating app profile? In this video, I will share 10 dating tips that helped me go on lots of amazing dates and that landed me a fantastic life partner. In case you're new, my name is Peter, and on this channel, I share strategies and tips for living a happier, more productive, and more conscious life. Now, in the past 5 years, I have gone on dates with dozens of women, and some of those dates were really successful. Others were not. Either way, I've learned so much, and in this video, I want to share what I've learned with you. Tip number 1 is to go on lots of dates with lots of different people. I know, it's tempting to go on a date, find someone you like, and then say, you know what, I will not go on any dates with anyone else because I want to see where this is going. But when you're in that phase of looking for the right life partner, you really want to meet lots of different people to gather data, to experience what it's like to be with different kinds of people, because you can stay in your head all day long and make lists and brainstorm what kind of partner you're looking for. And you should do that, but you need to supplement that theoretical sense of who you should be with actual life experience. So go on dates with different people. You may be surprised at what it is in a new partner that you like. Now, you've got to make sure that you actually have time to go on dates with lots of different people and on lots of dates to begin with. And so if that requires you to take some time off from your job or to work part-time or to give up some other things, then do that. If it's very important to you to find a partner, then prioritize that with your schedule as well. Don't expect that if you're working 40, 50, 60, or 70 hours a week, that you're going to be able to do that and go on lots of dates and see what you want. Then you're going to have luck of the draw. If you're only able to go on one date a week or one date every 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be very difficult for you to figure out what kind of person you want to be with. Tip number 2 is to use online dating apps. There's a bunch of reasons for that, but it all comes down to the fact that it's really, really efficient. Dating is a numbers game. There is a person out there who is the exact right person for you. You're going to be super happy with them. They're going to be super happy with you. The question is, how are you going to find this kind of person? There's not one person like that, right? There are many people like that who you could be super, super happy with. It's just that they're hard to find. So you want to expose yourself to as many people as possible, and online dating apps are a super efficient way to do that. Yeah, it's really nice to run into someone in real life, but hey, you can still do that if you're on online dating apps. By using dating apps, you're just increasing the pool of people you're exposed to. It also really helps you to see what kinds of people are out there. Just swiping on Tinder for a while, for example, will show you lots of people who are not quite your cup of tea. That's really helpful because it gives you information about what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. Now, if you use online dating apps, and you should be using online dating apps, make sure you pay for the premium version. It may allow you to filter on what kinds of people you want to look for, but it also just exposes you to more people and saves you a ton of time. For example, on Tinder, I can boost myself and pay for the premium version, and then what do I see? I can see people who have already liked me, so that's a really efficient way of browsing Tinder. I can just be like, hey, these people already like me. If I like them, I swipe right, we match, we can instantly start chatting. It saves you tons of time. You can quickly go on a date and actually get that information, and hey, perhaps this is the kind of person that you want to be with. Tip number 3 is to use great photos in your online dating profile. Now, you may actually want to hire a professional photographer to go on a photo shoot with you to get some great photos if you don't have any already. But if you do have a bunch of photos of yourself already, you can go and ask your friends, hey, which of these photos are going to look great in my online dating profile? And which of these photos do I look sexy in? Which of these photos do I look confident? Where do I look smart? Or even better, you can use a website called PhotoFeeler. I did this a bunch of years ago when I was first setting up my online dating profiles, and it's amazingly useful. This website lets you scientifically test which of your photos give a certain vibe to people. So you take some of your photos, upload them to this website, and pay a small fee, or you can actually get tokens to get your own photos rated by rating other people's photos. It's pretty neat. And people will judge your photos. They'll say, you look more attractive in this one. You look more confident in this one. That will give you so much information. You can put your best photos on your dating profile, and you get way more matches. And way more matches means more people you can start conversations with, and more chances of you matching and eventually meeting the right kind of person for you. Now, there's one caveat to this, and it's like, don't put misleading photos on your profile. Just the other day, a friend shared a dating profile with me that was obviously fake. The guy had photoshopped his own face or maybe his own body on like a background that was clearly fake, and that's ridiculous. If you do that, it's a major turnoff. So don't use really old photos or fake photos or whatever. Use real photos of yourself, but make sure they're good quality photos. It absolutely pays off to invest some time and some money into into having fantastic photos. Remember, you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. Tip number 4 is to go on dates quickly. So that means ask people on a date quickly. Chat a little bit in whatever online dating app you're using, or if you met someone in real life, and you exhange phone numbers, that's fine. Chat a little bit, but ask them on a date quickly. Don't wait 2 weeks, right? Maybe wait a day or two or something like that, or maybe even ask someone on the same day. I've gone on very successful dates with people who I've met on the same day. Go on the date quickly. There's no point in having a pen pal, right? You want to meet someone, see if they're right for you. So don't be afraid of going on dates that may not turn out well. It's fine. If you meet someone and the date is not good, that's great. And this leads me to a related point, which is that when you're meeting someone for the first time, keep it a very simple date, right? Go get coffee, go get tea, go ahead and get a drink if you would like to meet someone in the evening, or just go for a walk. Those are the absolute best things you can do on a first date, because if you're meeting someone and you're having a bad time, then you can easily get out of it. Just say, hey, it was nice meeting you. I'm going to head out now. Thank you. Bye. And you just leave, and that's totally allowed if there is no click. Don't feel like you're obligated to spend 2 or 3 hours with someone. Definitely don't go to a restaurant or a movie or whatever with someone on the first date. Is the absolute worst thing you can do. Restaurants are awkward. During movies, you cannot talk, and you want to have that conversation, but you also want to make sure you can get out of there if it's a terrible date. Hey, and do your potential, date partner a favor and make sure you shower and smell good. I have, for example, my favorite cologne that I always put on when I go on a date. How can you not like me when I put on this cologne? Oh, one final tip about going on dates quickly. Have a standard place where you meet people, a favorite bar, a favorite cafe, a favorite park to go for a walk. Just have one place so you know the surroundings, you feel comfortable there, and you can just focus on the other person rather than on, I'm in this new place and how does it work here? Tip number 5 is to make a list of things that you're looking for in your ideal partner. Now, I said earlier that you want to go on lots of dates to get real experience about the kinds of people that you like, and that is absolutely the most important, but it also helps to make a list of what criteria you're looking for in a partner. For example, if you're looking for a guy who is really fit, then put that on your list. That is something that you want. It really helps to get as specific as possible with this. So don't say, I'm looking for someone attractive. I'm looking for someone who's kind, someone who's friendly. No, be more specific. Do you want someone with tattoos? Write down you want someone with tattoos, because that will help you recognize the person you are looking for when they get in front of you. In fact, I made my own list of the kinds of women that I like to connect with. I've got it right here on my phone. Oh wait, whoops, the note is locked. Anyway, this is not a minimum requirements list, right? This is a list of what your ideal partner is. Like, of course, you have some minimal requirements and you can write that down. But once you make a list of what your ideal partner looks like, don't judge everyone to that ideal standard. You want to meet someone who meets most of those things. You want to make sure your standards are high, but don't expect perfectionism either, because that is a surefire way of not getting anyone to be your life partner, because, hey, nobody is actually perfect. Tip number 6 is to tell people what you're looking for in a partner. Hey, here's a newsflash for you. People cannot read your mind. So go ahead and tell your friends what you're looking for in a partner. Tell them, hey, I'm looking for someone who loves to be outdoors, who loves to go hiking, who loves to go surfing with me or whatever, if that's your thing, right? Tell them I love to have someone who is a real movie buff or whatever, because then your friends know what to look for. And if they meet someone like that, they can maybe set you up together. And the same thing goes for your online dating profile. Actually have some text in your dating profile that shares what you're interested in. It's a great conversation starter, but also in your photos. If you love to be outdoors, put some outdoorsy photos. Create that vibe that people will have a natural sense of whether they're going to be the right person for you. It will really help you attract people who are much better fits. That said, mention it gently. Don't get too specific and say, I will only go on a date with you if you match these 18 criteria. That's just being a jerk. So you don't want to do that, but give people some conversation starters and some sense of the kinds of things that you're into, so they can imagine themselves going on a date with you, or maybe even, spending a lifetime with you, and seeing whether that might be fun for them. Now, tip number 7 is really important, and that is to test people's ability to communicate. Every single couple has conflicts, and usually many conflicts over the years, and that's totally fine and totally normal. The key is, how do you handle any conflicts that arise? So you want to make sure that the person you go on a date with, or maybe the person you've been dating for a while, is able to talk about conflict, and in particular is able to talk about their emotions. I remember one time years ago, I was in San Francisco in a science museum called the Exploratorium, and there was an exhibit, and the exhibit described the results of a study. In this study, they followed couples over many years, if not decades, and they asked, hey, what is it about these couples that still were together after decades compared with couples that, separated, divorced, broke up at some point? What is the difference between these two? And it turns out that the couples that stayed together for a long time were the ones who were able to make themselves vulnerable, to communicate about their emotions, and to negotiate differences. So that's the key. And you want to be looking for that ability in someone on the very first date. So a good way to do that is to make yourself vulnerable. Share a time when you were not doing so well, when you had a problem, when you struggled with something, and see how the other person reacts. Are they able to display empathy? Is it an uncomfortable topic for them? Do they shy away from it? And see if they're willing to open up about something in their own life. See if they're willing to discuss the fact that, hey, they have emotions and they're not perfect. Now, not everybody opens up equally quickly, so you may not want to judge people too quickly, but if someone doesn't open up about their emotions at all, cannot discuss anything that's going on with them other than really shallow stuff, that's not the right person. Next, tip number 8 is to not try to sell yourself. Instead, evaluate the other person. I used to do this wrong all the time. I would go on dates and I'd be on the lookout for any signs that this person I was on a date with may not like me. Maybe they didn't laugh at a joke. Maybe they sat a little farther away from me. Or maybe their body language just indicated that they were bored, right? It's a terrible way to go on a date. It's not very fun at all. Instead, think differently. Ask yourself, do I like this person? Do I want to spend time with this person? So don't be judged, but be judging. Now, do this in a nice way. Don't judge in a negative way, but ask yourself, do I want to spend more time with this person? Do I want to leave this date right now, or do I want to go on another date? Or could I see myself even spending much more time with this person over the years? By asking yourself that, you enter a more relaxed posture. And if the answer is no, then you don't have to worry about anything. And if the answer is yes, you do like them and you want them to like you, don't put any pressure on it. Just let it naturally happen. See whether they like you. If they don't like you, it's not the right person to be with anyway. Don't waste your effort. Quickly go on that next date. If you're following my tips, you're going on lots of dates anyway, and you will soon meet someone where there'll be mutual interest. Tip number 9 is to keep the pressure low. The absolute worst thing you can do when you go on a date is have the attitude of marriage or bust. This person I'm on a first date with, I'm evaluating them as a potential marriage partner, a partner for life. And if they don't immediately convince me that I want to get married for them, it's done. I'm not going on a second date. That is the worst way to go on a date. It's not fun for you. It's not fun for them. And it puts so much pressure on the situation. Pressure never really leads to good dates. So what can you do instead? Instead, just ask yourself, am I having a fun time right now? Would I like to spend more time with this person? Would I like to go on a second date? Okay. And it also really helps on this point if you're able to see multiple people, if you're able to casually date people. So this may be tricky for some people if you're feeling very monogamous, but it really helps if you can evaluate multiple people, if you can evaluate people for some time, because it allows you to not have that pressure of, I met someone and I need to see if they're the right person for me because there are no other options. You don't want to be in that mindset. So give yourself some time before committing to a single partner. And you don't have to commit to a single partner anyway. You can also always keep dating non-monogamously. My final tip is to keep your standards high. There must be a click from the beginning when you're going on a date with someone. Now, if you think this contradicts my previous point, it really doesn't. On a first date, there has to be some kind of click. But that doesn't mean people have to instantly seem like a marriage partner for you, okay? So there has to be some kind of click, though, because if there isn't, there probably will not be. Now, there are thousands of people, if not millions of people all over the world who would be a fantastic relationship partner for you. Now, because so many people are right for you, it's just a matter of finding them. You should not settle. Do not settle on the things that are absolute minimum requirements for you. Like I said, nobody is perfect, but you have to be willing to maintain some minimum standards. Enforcing your boundaries like that, being willing to say no to people who are not great matches will actually make you more attractive to the people that you really want to be attractive to. Okay, now it's your turn to share something with me. I want to hear about your biggest dating fail. Leave your biggest dating fail in the comments. I'm really looking forward to reading what you're coming up with, and I hope that you found these 10 tips useful. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.